Whoa. Whoa there.
Whoa there.
Whoa.
That's more like a go. Yeah, get him, boy.
Go.
Sick him, pony.
Oh, God,
That takes me back
wild cowboy.
to the glory days of me getting my arm bitten off by a horse.
Your arm bitten off.
Yeah. So you know this game is kind of sad. So yeah, I got my arm bitten and skin ripped by a horse in the military.
Oh my God. What did you do to that poor horse? Well, hang on a second. Arme's in and Arme's out. He's dead. Yeah, continue your story.
That was a quick bit of action. I didn't do anything, man. It was my first day in the military stables, and they put me in the worst box, the horse that is the most aggressive. It's like a super territorial horse. I didn't know it because it didn't show any signs. Suddenly, it just snaps back its neck, bites down on my elbow, and I'm wearing a uniform, right? And it bites down over the uniform, bites hard enough, and rips to the side until the skin parts away with skin. Jeez. So I got sent to the medical office, and they're like, "Let me guess." Oh, they're diving.
Are they just relocating into base? Oh, hell yeah.
Just go.
XM, they're all dying. Unalived, ceasing to exist.
I don't know if they're going to call GG here, but, you know, you could call GG here. They're taking Roche and diving you in your base at the same time here.
This is pretty wild.
I don't know what Extreme were thinking going into this game, but I don't feel like they're on their A game right now.
They weren't expecting this, that's for damn sure.
I'm a bit concerned if this was,
here we go.
You know.
Another kill on Disruptor. Oh, mate, he's racking them up. Another notch on his belt. There we go.
I mean, it's the one hero that can kill, it feels like. They haven't killed the POS 4 or the POS 1 this game at all. The Sweden Strong is living up to his name right here. 6-0 and 20. He's been involved in every single kill apart from 2. And the same for Leshrac. So, yeah, it's basically the Leshrac combo just running around. Doing whatever they want.
Oh, there's nothing stopping this barracks push. They're just letting it go. Extreme are kind of pivoting elsewhere on the map, somewhere else, away from One Win, away from Leshrac. Xingqiu and XM both dying as Munkushi dives mid lane at the same time as bottom is being gone on by this Lesh and Io.
Ame is not looking back, dude. He is like, I don't know you guys. I don't have TP ready even. He's just gonna go top.
The base is exploding, you know, nuclear mushroom cloud there. He doesn't look back.
No. This is fine. This is all fine. Who needs a barracks or two?
Wowee. Mid lane looks pretty done. And DY getting crushed here by Munkushi and Cloud.
They have a Bloodthorn now. Naga 2, 24 minutes, Bloodthorn Heart, Mantisal 1600 gold. And I don't think they're stopping. I think they're gonna go top 2.
I think they should, yeah. Wait, is Respect hunting Ame or is Ame hunting Respect? look at mid lane.
I mean, there's a relocate available, so it's a one-way ticket for Ame if he commits on the Disruptor.
Was he watching? Was he watching? No, he wasn't. There's a range script that's disappeared. I heard a Ravage. I heard a Ravage onto Munkushi, who is untouched because he's Heart and Manta and level 18 Naga. Now, great setup with the Arena, Static Storm. XM caught inside with Xingqiu, and they both die. XXS he tried, but he's going to now attempt to TP home under the noses of One Win, but still going to fall here as they drag him back into the waiting arms of Chira Jr. Another 3 dead, and One Win looking at tier 4s.
This is a shellacking, Garrett.
GG. Oh boy.
One of the larger sized shellackings I've seen.
That's over 1,000, a 27k lead at 25.5 minutes. You don't see those very often nowadays.
Well, you know, it's a good finish for One Win here. They may be out of the tournament, but they got to have some fun. We can see the smiles on their faces as they got to absolutely brutalize this final game.
That's going to be a morale booster. Lift the spirits a little bit there. Yeah, kind of sigh of relief, right? It's like, okay, it's kind of over. we got a victory at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see more from these boys, honestly, because even though they're out and we're gonna part ways with them, you know, it's still cool to see them. I think there's a lot of potential within the team that is One Win. And you can say what you want about Extreme Gaming. Maybe they didn't take it fully serious here in this matchup, but I still think One Win have, you know, some great potential.
Yeah, I think One Win have one more series against Tundra tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. They are eliminated, as we knew before this final game started. They're really putting up some good shows, though. You know, getting through qualifiers, getting into Dream League, starting to dip their toe into international events, having that cross-regional play as well. Because you know, this team, new, fresh blood, young players. That's going to be one of the first times they've played against Ame, against Chinese teams, against cream of the crop, top of the pops, best in the world.
Yeah, definitely valuable experience here. I mean, this is really, really good for them as a team to get to play here. And I don't know, I feel like all of them have played against these players in high-level pubs, you know, but it's different, you know, playing together as a team at an event and trying something like this. But Extreme Gaming, you know, they're still in a fantastic spot, even though they get a draw here. The score for the groups is looking very nice for them still.
Yeah, still in a solid spot. As we do get to watch back, you know, I'm sure One Win will go back and, you know, watch the casts and the replays of this just to relive and revel in the victory here as Game 2 wraps things up here. A 1-1 draw between One Win and Extreme Gaming. And we'll come back with an interview with Sweden Strong in a few minutes. We'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody, as we can watch back some highlights from that previous series. Extreme Gaming up against One Win ended in a 1-1 draw. Game 1, super interesting with that Arme PA popping off with some sick moves out of Revenant's Brooch. And Waga, Game 2, One Win came to play, but it didn't feel like Extreme did.
Yeah, I mean, One Win were just running the show completely. That Wisp combo was just all over the place. Pug not completely crushed on mid lane, had no impact whatsoever this game. And it was really just a three-man show, I want to say, between the two supports along with their mid from OneWin. They were just absolutely free to do whatever they want. Fantastic play from the three of them, because they basically could have won that game 3v5, it felt like.
Yeah. That's going to be such a kind of a breath of fresh air for Chiro Jr. as well, as we do have an interview phoning in Sweden Strong joining us.
Yes,
congratulations. Yeah, hello. Nice to see you. Congrats. I mean, that Game 2 victory, it's got to feel so good. But I have to ask, Io is one of your best heroes. Why haven't you played him on this team yet?
I mean, we played it now, at least. I'm not sure why we didn't play it before.
Yeah.
Maybe we're like scared or something. Now, like, we're out of tournament, pressure was off, and we just went for it. And I mean, game was super easy. So yeah, maybe we'll pick it later.
Yeah, it's got to feel good. It looked good.
Yeah, you still have a series to go. So I mean, you still have time to get very serious practice matches. You can see it as now afterwards, I guess. So you can keep trying stuff, because that Wisp was definitely something very fresh to see from you guys. I want to ask you, like, how your team feels this has been as an experience playing here. Like, I know it's not over, but what's the biggest takeaway from playing here in Dream League for you guys?
I mean, we're definitely like learning a lot from these matches. It's our first big tournament for our team, so like every match brings a lot of new stuff to us. We're learning a lot of new like moves and a lot of new plays, everything.
Yeah.
No, it's just like what?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Yeah. No, but I think you guys, you show a lot of promise overall. Do you think that the teams that you play against now, is it teaching you more draft-wise, or is it in-game moves they feel that you have the most to learn from the teams that you have gone up against?
I think it's both. Draft-wise, it's mostly because patch just came out, so some new heroes are popping, like the Slash, for example. We didn't play it before. After this patch, it became like viable, I guess. We're trying everything. We're learning from other teams also, because I feel like for this group stage, our drafts were like all over the place. We're drafting like not consistently, I would say.
How does draft work in your team? Do you have like one strong voice in your team that like wants to do it, or is it everyone contributing? What's your general like structure?
I mean, our coach comes with like the structure, but he's open to ideas from everyone. So I would say like everyone has a voice, but the final decision comes from coach for heroes.
Cool. So you're saying you're learning from a lot of teams, a lot of different moves. Are there any teams or individual players that you have as like a role model or you look up to right now?
I mean, individual players, I wouldn't say so. Like, I mean, I'm watching all POS 4 players. So I wouldn't say I have some like preference individually, but as a team, we're watching Extreme, Spirit, Bad Boom, just all the teams on this tournament. We're trying to learn everything we can.
Yeah. It's great mentality to have.
It's been amazing fun to watch the way you guys play, because even though it ends up here with you not gonna go through, it's still been some really exciting series, and you've had really close matches against a lot of the teams that you ended up losing out or drawing against.
Yes, for sure. We had all of the losses, I believe, like the 0-2 matches, we could have at least made them 1-1.
Yeah,
we had a lot of very close games, so we'll try to work on like closing off the games that we are supposed to win. I think for next tournaments we'll practice on like train this a lot, how to win matches, how to close them off.
What's next on the horizon for you guys? Because we want to see more from you guys. What's the next thing that you have lined up after this?
I mean, there are supposed to be a lot of qualifiers like in this next month. So yes, it's them. Also ESL.
Yeah.
ESL in Birmingham. We're going there. It's at the end of April, so a lot of time before that. Maybe even a big patch comes out with new hero. Who knows? We'll see.
That's great stuff. Well, I noticed you have a very nice blue mug. What's in it? Is it water? Is it tea? You got any special sauce?
It's just water. Just water. Nothing else.
Well, it's been great watching you guys grow. We've been watching you through the qualifiers, seeing you guys develop, and watching you since the Na'Vi days has been great to see you find a place on this team. Thanks for joining us, and congrats on that victory against Extreme, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, yes, thanks for having me and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
That's really nice. I mean, yeah, questioning himself. Why haven't they picked Io?
Yeah, right.
It looked very good.
Yeah, but
Just a little bit afraid.
They're still in that phase of figuring out what you have, like what can you play. A lot of times when you're in a team that hasn't played together for that long, you really need to find what style works. Yes, you have players who are good at different things, but what's really going to work together? And that Io, I mean, that looked like they can play some great tempo with it. Sure, it was a very one-sided game here, but obviously he has great experience on it. And the coordination between their players is really nice between the supports in the mid.
And I guess it's also like finding elements, right? He mentioned there that Lesh has like become viable with the patch, and then the Lesh being viable makes the IO more viable, so you have that knock-on effect of putting the puzzle pieces together. But yeah, that wraps up day 3 of the group stage here on the Earth stream, and I think we were the last ones to finish as well, so we can take a look at the standings across day 3 as we round things up. BetBoom looks like they're already through 9 and 3, while G2IG down at the bottom 3 and 9.
Yeah, G2IG had a pretty tough time, and Heroic there at 5 and 7 along with Azure Ray. And we see, of course, Gaming Gladiators and OG both at 6-6 here together with VP.
We'll see the other group as well, Group B, Extreme Gaming. So they are through already, 8 and 4.
Yeah. Okay, so they are solidified. Yeah, it wasn't updated yet as the game started, but I guess they are completely sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering like
Control
how
Z, undo.
One of the 8-4s could be sure and not the others, but yeah, I mean we still gotta see from Tundra, right? Because they can be 8-4 as or 8-6 after the games tomorrow. So if anyone loses there, they could be tied with Tundra, and of course Team Spirit already has 7-5 as well.
Some potential like tiebreakers going on there, middle of the table. Things could definitely shake and move up. And we can take a look at the schedule for tomorrow as well. I believe a bit of a shorter day as we have fewer series here on the Earth stream. We will have those 2 best of 2s. G2IG up against Gaming Gladiators. So it's Gaming Gladiators looking for victories. And then, like we were saying, Tundra against 1 win. You know, 1 win, not much to play for in terms of standings and placement in the league, but showing off some prowess and skill, giving us some good games nonetheless.
These are still very important games, like the way we said in the interview there, like when I said that, you know, these are good practice games still remaining, it's not to insult them in any way at all. Like tournament is the best place ever to practice, and Tundra, they're going to treat it serious because they have to win. They want to get up in that upper bracket of the groups.
Yeah, got to make your way through. And things are all done here on the Earth stream. Burning the Midnight Oil, what is it, 11 p.m. Central European time. We've gone the distance here, some long old games. We're getting the tier 5 item 60-minute games, which is always super tasty, especially when you've got an Arme PA throwing one-hit crit daggers out there and all that good stuff. I'm going to go back and watch the VODs, go back and watch the replay. I'm sure that one has made its way to Reddit for sure. Wildcat, it's been a good old day, but I think that's where we will cut things short and pass you all on to some monster moments.
mass. Rather than explaining, I'll show you. So first, you start the game. Let's say you play Farseer. You got your 5 in gold, and you got your 7 on lumber. You go for like a grunt into a headhunter. So you'll be harassing with this. Maybe you take 1 camp, you harass peasants, you fall back, take a camp, you harass map control. They now have an expansion, and you've got 3 burrows in tier 2. You generally go TC, because you don't know where the game is going yet. You go a Bestiary to ensnare footies and heroes, and you go a Spirit Lodge to purge water elementals, if they go Archmage first. So now you've got this army. Farseer is checking where the human is. TC and units might be creeping. Go for raiders with ensnare and shamans with adept training. Maybe you get fortified to stop suicides on your burrows. You try to maybe get a counter expansion, while after you have the raiders, so that you can ensnare footies and so on. So they obviously have more money than you, but your counter expo is coming. You see that they have 2 bases, they got a bunch of towers. You try to make an estimation if you can do like a push attack with the army that you have, or if that's just going to give him too much time to creep somewhere else on the map. You're map controlling, you're leveling up, you're becoming level 3 and level 3. He's level 4, level 1, right? You see where the game is headed, you scout him now and then. You see like no rifles coming out, you see no sorks and priests and breakers coming out. He's going to tier 3, okay, now you know, right? He's going to tier 3, and that means it's going to be griffins. That's just how it is, right? So you've got 2 base mining right now. As you can see, this is the second base. And this is your setup. You've got like 3 shamans and a Kodo, whatever. Maybe 1 less headhunter, right? So you're at 50 pop. You've got 2 bases. He's saving up loads of money going griffins. You're controlling the map because you teched earlier. He has more money because he expanded earlier. This is your army that you have. So what do? He's going for griffins. Okay, there's a couple of things you could do. You could start doing this. So you make 3 units that can attack air. Headhunter, Kodo, Shaman. You push over 50 pop. You make another burrow. And you just kind of try to use that. You start attacking their expansion with this army. You stay tier 2 and you make this stuff. The other thing you can do, you stay at 50. You add 2 bestiaries. Or perhaps, and this is the dream but not always possible, 3 bestiaries. It depends on how much time you think you have. You get those finished, you prepare double burrow over capacity. So you were at 50, you make sure you can go all the way. You prepare to go all the way to 80 population max cap. And what you do then is you can even go tier 3 and get Goblin Alchemist as well. Alchemist has Acid Bomb, and this gives you bonus armor debuff on enemy. And what the Griffin player will do is try to buff their armor. So Acid Bomb counters that a bit, right? And what you're then going to do is you are going to go Mass Bat Riders. And so the reason you have 4 is because you roughly want to explode 2 at a time, so you'll always have an even number. With 3 you don't, but it's still fine, you do your best. At base level, a Griffin without upgrades explodes from 2 bats. Add Animal War Training, Devotion Aura, Inner Fire, Armor Upgrades, and Protection Scroll, Holy Light, Heal Scroll Interspersions, and Staff of Sanctuary. And you could use anywhere from 3, 4, or even 5 bats per Griffin, which is incredibly cost inefficient. So it is your job, before the explosion, to try and purge some of those Inner Fires and Protection Scrolls away. It's your job to try and surprise him by speed scrolling them in with superior vision, and for this reason you might go for one Witch Doctor along with those shamans. Just like in Dota 2, you can have Observer Ward advantage. You see him coming flying in, you prepare here, you speed scroll, you fly in all your bats. It's your job to get the Griffins when they're clumped, and it's his job to pre-split them. If you let him attack your expansion with Griffins, what he's going to do is he's going to attack the Great Hall or the Peons with 2 Griffins, and the others will all be spread around in a large, widely spread out gaggle of Griffins. And that means you cannot just come in and blow everything up. You would come in, you would ensnare the front Griffin, you would start attacking, and your bats are just waiting doing nothing. You don't have a lot of DPS because you relied on Bat Riders. So that's kind of the ebb and flow, the counter and the play of the matchup. So you're going to go a bunch of bats. Once you get to that point, right, you have all your bats in one control group. You've got your ground. Normally I have ground like this in 2 control groups. So at some point, the bats don't fit. So what I do is, I may just add all my casters to the same control group so that I can have this on 2, I can have this on 3. What you can also do is to move command all your bats on a single hero so that they just keep following it at the distance. So they're not in any control group at all. You just move command all your bats on your hero, which can have risks because maybe you're not fast enough with the control. I like having them in a group. Okay, so these are your bats, and then you just go like, you hold your C, CC, 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 CC. You try to just do that as fast as possible. That's my preferred method. So it'd be like this. And you try to blow up all the air with speed scroll ideally. The Bat Rider becomes invincible at a distance of about 500 like this. And he becomes a non-unit essentially when flying on top of someone. I found out through testing that if 2 bats fly into each other, try to blow each other up, the one that spams Unstable Concoction the most wins. You would think it's whoever randomly acquires the target the fastest. So that if you fly 2 bats into each other and you Unstable Concoction the other and he does you, that it'd be 50-50. Or the one that tries to over micro their unit, that they would lose because you're trying to give extra commands, but he knows what to do. It's actually the one that repeatedly tries to blow the other that's gonna win. So when you're in a Bat Rider war, you would do this. Anyway, I hope you learned a little bit about how to counter Griffins. Any reason why it works that way? No idea. I just tried letting go, because sometimes over-microing creates input lag delays, but
6 years. Thanks for all the high-quality content and for being such a fantastic guy and entertainer, not to mention insanely skilled gamer. You do, in fact, make our lives better. With love from the Toy Butcher.
Sweetie pie. Is it worth speed scrolling bats? Absolutely. Yo, thanks for the sub, Ballistica. Why second Coda over just one more Raider? Well, initially, before Griffins reach large numbers, like there's a certain amount of Griffin count that you can still counter with low amounts of diverse Bestiary Barracks army. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 Griffins can still be countered with a collection of Raiders, Headhunters, Kodos, Shamans, and maybe even 1 or 2 Wind Riders. Once it gets to like the 7 to 12 Griffin count, it becomes harder and harder to do so. And so what I learned a long time ago is that if you're looking to kill Griffins with an early army, I feel like a second Kodo does more than the third Raider. Because Kodo has piercing damage, which is decent against Griffins. They have high HP counts, which means they don't die quite as easily. They create redundancy for keeping your damage boost up in case your first Kodo dies. Yo guys, what's up? And on my try-hard human journey to try and get rank 1. This time I'm actually going to try something that one person was doing against me today, which is Blood Mage Rush. Now, I've denounced this strategy as not a good build, but I think I can make it work anyway when played well. But how I will not do it is to immediately rush over and flame strike his base. I don't think that really works. I think you want to do a little bit of creeping. So I am going to go in with a barracks. And then I am going to speed build the barracks. I'm going to make a farm. So by building the altar very fast, I'm getting a pretty early blood mage out. And then I'm even power building my racks to get my first footman out. All of this costs a lot of money, but it gives me a little bit of an edge in getting my hero to come out earlier. And then hopefully get like level 2 and start messing with him a bit. All of this is possible to be a standard build order anytime for human. Like, you could always do this, but your transition after this is not going to be as strong. So now I'm going to use all my militia to creep. Again, a sacrifice in the health of my current monetary setup. All just to get that level 2 blood mage as quick as possible. Thank you for the sub, appreciate it. Okay, that is a little bit, and now we go into the map. So I'm not quite level up yet, but I only need a single unit. We could get the next with just militia while we're not there. So now we're gonna creep the warden. So we are level 2 now. He did slow down my farm. He has more units. We have... okay. He's got a lot of scout farms.
Forces are under attack. What do you need? On my way. Ready for action.
You can tell that he's defending again. He knows it's going to be another multi-prong attack. Those are still militia. He's not expanding yet. He's coming with a little bit of an attack here as well.
Can I help you? Yes, my liege. Our forces are under attack. They shall burn. Agreed. Ready for action. Say the word. What do you need?
Now we're attacking.
Orders, of course. Our forces are under attack.
He is expanding now.
Yes, my liege.
Need Arcane Vault.
Orders. Right. Let me at 'em. Our forces are under attack. Yes, my liege. Say the word. What do you need? Yes, my liege. What do you need? Orders. Say the word. On my way. Of course. Aye, what do you need? Aye, my lord.
Okay, I think I did good slowdown.
Orders? Right.
You shall
What?
go.
Righto. What is it? Yes, my liege. On my way. Of course. Aye, my lord.
You see something.
We're very low, and there's no troll merc on the map.
Oh, word. Our forces are under attack. Orders? Yes, my liege. Say the word. Job done. Word. What?
You shall go. Child's play.
Say the word. Right. On my way. Of course. Orders? Our forces
Oh
are
shit,
under attack.
he's right here.
Yes, my liege. Orders? Right. Job done.
I am here.
Say the word. Aye, my lord.
Spraddle.
Got my clarity cancelled, minus 70.
Andufala. Now. Sethabalana.
Yes, my lord. What is it? Off I go then, lord. What? What? Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Our forces are under attack. Oh, word. Off I go then. What is it? I guess I can. Yes, my lord. All right. What? Righto. Yes, my liege. Orders. On my way. Yes, my liege.
See something.
What is it? All right. Oh, word. No one else available. Righto.
Spraddle.
Say the word.
Evil is near. You shall
What do you need?
For my people.
He's still tier 1.
I'll incinerate them. Andufala. I am here.
Orders. Upgrade. Say the word. Job done. What forces are under attack.
See something.
What do you need? Of course. What is it?
You shall go.
Yes, my liege. Orders. Right. Aye, my lord.
See something.
What? Yes, my lord. Our forces are under attack. What do you need? On my way. Of course.
See something.
Yes, my liege. Of course.
Child's play. For now. For my people. For now.
On my
You
way.
shall go. Spraddle bores me. Quelzalas.
Job done.
I am here, mortal. Evil is near. For my people.
Oh, word. Job done. Our forces are under attack. Say the word.
No,
yes,
my
liege.
footy.
See something. Andufala.
Say the word.
Spraddle bores me.
Yes, my lord.
You shall go. Child's play. They shall burn. Sethabalana. You shall go. For my people. Andufala. Do you see something?
I come to cleanse this land. Is someone in I come to cleanse this land.
Perfect. Whatever.
Yes, my
Well?
bores me.
I can hardly wait.
I am here, mortal.
What ails you?
Our forces are under attack.
Is someone injured?
Sethabalana.
What? Yes, my lord.
Spraddle
What is it?
bores me.
Yes, my
Job
child.
done.
Hurry along, man.
Now.
Is someone
You
injured?
need. What is it?
I
What is it?
You require my assistance?
Say the word. Aye, my lord. Right. On my way.
Well,
shall go.
get on.
Shall
Almost died.
Yes, my lord. Oh, word. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Get on.
What ails you?
What ails you? Time is mana. Is someone injured? Is my
Well,
aid
child's
required?
play.
Yes,
I
my
am
liege.
here, mortal.
Job done.
I am
What?
here,
Yes,
mortal.
my lord. What is it?
Do you see
Is my
something?
aid required?
Oh, word.
He's gonna stop my expo.
Evil is near. For
You
now,
Our
require my
forces are under attack.
Spraddle bores me.
Research complete.
smell magic.
Shall
Glimpse for magic.
Spraddle bores me.
The blood elves will
Is near.
get on. What? Be quick.
See something.
Our forces are under attack.
The blood elves await. Yes, smell magic. Is someone on with it? Is someone yes, my lord.
Yes, my liege. You need. Aye, my lord. Of course.
Well, is my aid required? What ails you? Well, well,
I am here.
what is what
I don't think that was gonna kill me, but
smell magic? I smell magic.
Yes, my lord.
Be quick. Is my aid required?
Will it be
go then.
I am here, mortal.
Help me.
Evil is near.
Help you.
For now, do you see something? That child
Sit down. Do you require aid? The flows of magic are yours.
All right.
Gerardo,
Our forces are under attack.
I am here.
Help me. This better be good.
Straddle,
Kick down, Spartan.
More gold is required. More work.
I am here.
What? More gold is required. Yes, my lord.
Do you require aid?
Anufala, that child's play.
Wallaby Hutcha.
Gerardo,
Hello.
evil is near.
Help me.
Gerardo,
Help
I
me.
am here, mortal.
Bad time. Once again, it's up to the
Do you
others.
see something?
Kick down,
Man,
Spartan.
I used to hate slow playing against human.
Do you require aid? Wallaby Hutcha.
What is it?
Help me. Help you.
Job done.
Wallaby Hutcha. This better be good. If what? Kick down, Spartan. Do you require aid?
Is someone right on? Not enough.
Do you require
Not
aid?
enough. Job done.
Wallaby
Yes, my lord. More work.
Help me.
What?
Get on with it.
Kick down, Spartan.
What?
What did I do? Wallaby Kick down, Spartan. Help me. Help you.
The blood elves away. Easily done. Smell magic in the air. Thirst for magic. I get on with it. Watch and learn.
This better be good.
Job done.
Do you require aid? Do you require aid?
Agreed.
Help me. Help you. Wallaby Hutcha. Kick down, Spartan. This better be good.
Blood elves away.
Kick down, Spartan. Wallaby Do you require aid? Help me. Help you.
Is someone injured?
The blood elves.
This better be good.
What?
Do you require aid?
Our forces are under attack.
Kick down, Spartan. Wallaby Hutcha. Help me. Help you. Wallaby Hutcha. Do you require aid?
Is my aid
This better be good. Help me. Help you. Kick down, Spartan.
Job done.
This better be good. Help me. Help you. Do you require aid? If
On with it.
I am your servant.
Kick down, Spartan. Once again, it's up to the others.
Doesn't hit anything. Magic immune.
Wallaby Hutcha.
On with it. I am here, mortal.
Not enough.
Wallaby Hutcha.
The blood elves.
Do you require aid?
GG. Nice. Invis has been so helpful this game, yeah. That's true. GG, nice smurf on Exort Invoker. I think we're rank 5 now. Nice. Rank 5. Need 2-3 games for rank 4. If they're magic immune, how can healers heal them with magic? It is the most favorable interpretation of magic immunity. Think of it as magic immunity fundamentalism. Whatever interpretation suits them, that's the one they're going to be going with. For is it not passage 22-21 out of the Spellbreaker manual that you can get Staff of Sanctuary by your own hero, you can get healing from your own priest, you can get brilliance from your own archmage, but you cannot get storm bolted, you cannot get lightning shield damaged, etc. Fundamentalists, zealots, thou shalt not question magic immunity, for Blizzard works in mysterious ways. It's hexproof, not shroud. Okay, got some Runeterra fanatics coming in with their lore. Hexproof, not shroud. Yeah, I don't know what that... I haven't learned that terminology enough. Does disease clouds work on breakers? Does it? I feel like maybe it does. Does it? I know Bash works on them, Critical Strike and Snare. Yeah, so... Disease is not magic after all. That's real life. Actually, Magic the Gathering talk. Oh, I see. Do you have high hopes for Stormgate? I have cautious pessimism. I'm aggressively nihilistic about it. I think it is quite fun to play, and I will play it more. I'm not convinced yet, but I'm open for more impressions. I believe the key will be, for me, music. Game sound. I enjoy spending time in games that sound good, sound well. Fun music, fun atmosphere. What would get really old really fast for me is your forces are under attack. Over and over with that demon voice that Infernals have. I don't think it is very high fidelity or quality. Hey Grubby, why don't you look Dutch-ish? Great question. I was actually hoping people would ask. Typical Dutch looking man. Let's see. This is a typical Dutch looking man. Hold on. Let me see. Where is it? Dutchman free royalties? What? Oh shit, I found game. This right here. This guy. This is typical Dutch look. In the middle. At least for now. Things change, right? A typical North American now and a typical North American 500 years ago is also not the same. Why do I not look like this guy, and this guy? Or even this guy? Because I am part Indonesian. You see, it was a quest for my forefathers to change what a typical Dutch man looks like. That's why they came to the Netherlands from Indonesia. We want more dark hair. We want more sambal, and we want more kroephoek in the Netherlands. Go Mantiking first. I'm gonna go for Mantiking one base. Krupuk. Krupuk is deep fried shrimp flavor stuffs. Breads. Deep fried shrimp flavor crackers. Why do you click around so much? I have a condition. APM-DHD. You know ADHD. I have APM-DHD. I was diagnosed with it when I was 16. Fair? Yeah. I was hoping you would say so. You never want Mount the King to come for you.
Move it! I'm coming through! Out of my way! Move it! Brilliant! Ready for action! I'll run them through! I'm coming through! Out of my way! Give me something to do! Move it! Brilliant! Dead comes for you! Yes, me lord! Wait till you see me in action! Out of my way! Brilliant! Move it! I'm coming through! Move it! I'm coming through! Aye! Out of my way! Dead comes for you! Lord! Aye! Give me something to do! Brilliant! Wait till you see me in action! What? Right then. Wait till you see me in action! What's that? Give me something to do! Say the word! Of course! Aye! Aye! Our forces are under attack! Go then! Right. Wait till you see me in action!
Thank you for the sub, appreciate it.
Today he's like, how can I be more greedy?
I mean, is that more greedy than Terrorblade?
Terrorblade, I'm just thinking. I think Terrorblade has more impact early on than Blitz.
Okay. I'm just shocked he didn't go for the Shadowblade in that one game. I feel like you got to commit fully to the memes if you're going to be picking that.
The good old Shadowblade, Sunder Dagon combo.
That's right. Well, forget the armlet. Very important.
Because nowadays it's much harder to lose HP compared to Dota 1 days.
Yeah, that's true. Sunder has been nerfed a lot since then as well, so it's not nearly as good. As top two CSs in the game are on the side of G2IG. Monet having himself a very nice time as the pounce lands in the bot lane. The Satyr creep gets off a blast as well. JT, one more right click will do it. Eats the tree, will survive. Doesn't look like Clinks will have that opportunity though. Boboka will fall to FY. TP coming in from Xnova, but a little bit too late to the party. The Satyr continuing on. There's another Hadouken pretty soon.
Ooh, that's some big damage coming out from Tianming. It's gonna be some decent damage onto a tower as well. They might, you know, start to pressure it even more. Creep waves are approaching. They even put down an observer ward behind, completely zoning out JT. Yeah. Usually, Dragonite doesn't struggle in a lot of these matchups, but look at the tower. Clanks is back.
Back. Ava onto two. Xnova and Boboka in a lot of trouble as the tombstone comes down, but Ori coming with the plasma damage. JT looks like he might survive. Has nothing to say. Gets off the focus fire, but runs away immediately. Tombstone has been fed away. Azure Ray going to be really happy with this exchange, forcing TPs, getting all the kills.
Blue is already level 6, sitting behind enemy tower, has that Shadow Dance available, so they can't really burst him down. This is going to be a free tower. Glyph will be popped, but Tianming does have Skelly Bros available, so that's going to be some extra damage. Good rotations from Ori. Managed to go in there, get a kill. Are we going to call this new rune AD, because we called the previous one DD? No.
It's just damage rune.
It's just damage rune.
I've had this conversation with Kezu
and
Cinder now. Think of every rune in the game, they're all one word. Why does it need to be two
just
words?
Damage.
Just damage.
Or amplify.
Yeah. Amplify rune?
AD, Anno Domini.
Sure. If you want to go with that, I'll be on board. Not really. Nothing to say. It's going to be ganked here by a bunch of skeletons.
Clinks, what are you doing?
No more.
I think that skeleton right now, summoned by this troll, is slightly stronger than Baboka's Clinks.
That's probably true. Clinks hasn't been known to be too impressive as of late. I mean, when Phylactery first came out, he was picked a decent amount as JT. Will be gone on here. Enchantress coming in as well. It's a 3v1 situation. He's just trying to get a couple last hits before the inevitable death. Lou, first stack of the game for him.
I said something after I saw this draft, Suns fan. I'm like, this could be a quick one. It's going to be a difficult game for G2IG to come back into. Like, they lost the laning stage with the heroes that they have. Like, what is the point of this Clinks? He needs to get some levels right now. He is level 5.5, which is okay-ish, but you want to be level 6 10 minutes into the game. You want to be able to scout things out, go for rotation. But seems like that's not working. And Low, very close to his Diffusal Blade. All these heroes have very limited mana pool, and we didn't mention the interaction between Enchantress and Windranger, and also Brewmaster, who has a way of dispelling Windrun. So
yep,
I
true.
think this needs to be like an earlier BKB from Nothing to Say.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up happening. I've yet to see the primal split from Faith Beyond. As just going to be pushing that tower ever so slowly. JT, not a good sign when you're in dragon form, not hitting a tower. It's at the 11-minute mark. I don't think it's even been touched at this point. He's been pressured so hard in this bot lane.
Yeah, tower is full HP bottom. They need to land a chrono on Low or make him like misuse his Q, get us some stun, but they also need Nothing to Say. Focus fire onto a tower. Right now, Azure Ray are killing the top tower top. Top tower top, very nicely done. I still didn't wake up properly, but Bach has TP available if they want to defend it with the primal split.
Yeah, they don't even need it. It feels like less resources are needed for Azure Ray to be able to defend these, while 3 members of G2IG, are we actually calling them G2IG?
We
it's
are.
Actually really annoying. Brought to you by the Great Korean Barbecue, of course, legendary character in the Dota scene. But it feels like they had 3 people mid trying to push this tower, and they still didn't get it. Still poking away at it for Nothing to Say. And in terms of net worth, I mean, he's pretty even with Ori, but it's really just the team situation.
He doesn't have the hero to play with. Undying's not that hero. Clinks doesn't provide you with any kind of a stun, no real setup. I also want to see what JT's gonna buy. I see Hand of Midas in his quick buy. So he wants to recover, but they definitely lack some kind of initiation tool.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, JT's gonna be the one that has to set things up eventually once that Blink Dagger comes to fruition.
Oh, Boboka.
Tier 1 tower being pushed by a support right now, and that forces 3 members again of G2IG come and defend. They get a courier for their troubles. As Monet, he's going to spot FY, but he's going to take an avalanche to the face with a toss to follow. But we'll time walk most of it off. The time dilation now, FY not really pressured that hard. This is basically the entirety of G2IG. They need to get something out of this, it feels like.
Boboka, walking ward, scouting things out. FY, because he had a good start, he did go for this Phase Boots Windlace build, and then you don't need a Blink Dagger early on. You basically can run in and get the toss back. Also found a nice neutral item for himself, Arcane Ring. It did get nerfed, but still great mana item. Boboka, look at him go.
What a beast. Tar Bomb owning. We'll be getting that Spirit Vessel relatively shortly.
It's not that good of a Spirit Vessel game anyway. So I was wondering, like, why is he buying it? Enchantress doesn't even have a point in Nature Attendance.
Yeah, true.
Slark can dispel it. Razor's building into Manta style, so he will have Dispel available.
Yeah, definitely an odd choice. As Baboka is going to turn his sights on the Ench as Lou. Well, they do pop the dust, but now we'll run away as a couple members of G2 are smoked up on the side, getting some high ground vision. But there's going to be TPs coming in now.
They want to take
for the
this
likes
fight.
of Azure Ray. Baboka was the initial target for Lowe's. We're going to see the primal split come out from Faith Beyond. The Clinks likely will be the first to fall, but you can see the impetus damage onto JT is just ridiculous. He will be taken out. That's 2 dead. Monet coming in with the Chronosphere. Do they have the damage to get this Slark? They do, just barely. That is a huge kill For the likes
now
of
Ori's here.
G2IG, but Ori coming in, nothing to say, attempting to TP out, but will die at the tail end of the teleportation. Ends up being a 1 for 4. At the very least, Monet will be able to take this Wisdom Rune, though.
Low goes in, he gets a kill on Clanks, gets chronoed afterwards. I thought that he might live. This first power shot didn't even connect. The second power shot was also stopped, so damage onto Low was not really there. You can see the avalanche immediately. Power shot, like, basically dealing 50 damage. They still managed to get the kill, but they don't have enough to deal with the Bruise split, and Ori flanks them from the other side. Very difficult fights. I think right now, even though you don't have split available, you can still go for the fights, considering that there is no Chronosphere and your Slark has pretty much a free reign for 2 minutes.
And just like that,
lead.
Exactly. This is a pretty huge lead at this stage of the game. And I mean, from G2's perspective, what do they need to do to try to turn this around? The initiation is probably the most important aspect. JT went for a Midas, so it's going to be a little slower getting going for him. And we can see that Faith Beyond almost done with his Radiance. This will actually be a pretty good pickoff. Doesn't have his Primal Split, of course. And we'll lose a lot of money here.
Guys.
And I mean, from G2's perspective, what do they need to do to try to turn this around? The initiation is probably the most important aspect. JT went for a Midas, so it's going to be a little slower getting going for him. And we can see that Faith Beyond almost done with his Radiance. This will actually be a pretty good pickoff. Doesn't have his Primal Split, of course. And we'll lose a lot of money here.
Guys.
Eventually, surely he will die.
No TPs.
Okay.
He was so close to getting that Radiance. Double Bracer, Magic Wand, Radiance. Still gonna be really good timing.
Yeah, only loses a couple hundred, actually.
minutes.
And the Tier 1's in the sights for G2.
It needs to be nothing to say who makes these moves, because as you said, JT, he did go for Hand of Midas, so needs another 2 minutes to farm up his Blink Dagger.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yep, tower and that kill definitely helped. But yeah, like you said, JT, I mean, 700 away from Blink, so not too far off. Be able to finally get some initiation for the side of G2, but he gets caught off guard. Avatos from the trees and the pure damage from the Ench, enough to rip him a new one.
While Clanks is watching, while all this is happening, it's like
the creeper.
Doesn't even have a Spirit Vessel charge.
Yep. Well, you do need to get a kill.
Or you die. He can die here, get the Spirit Vessel. I think he's going for it. He's going for that charge.
He will get it. That is one great addition to the game. I mean, I still don't know what the Spirit Vessel's for, but we'll find out eventually who he casted. Now, it aligns with the Manta on the Razor. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't get this item. I mean, I just don't get the Clanks position 4. I know how bad it is because I tried it so many times. It's one of my favorite things to do, is play this position 4 Clanks. Yeah, Grief.
And now they're going to steal a few stacks here. And Azure making Enchantress look, I mean, again, she always looks good, it feels like. Then it gets to the mid-game.
Like as a hero model, cosmetic-wise,
everything. Gameplay-wise as well, believe it or not.
He's owning. He's 3-0-8, so involved in 11 out of 12 kills.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Spirit, like Miposhka playing this, and he's just on like a killing spree. Mid-game, late game, he has ridiculous items, just owning everyone, and they end up losing. I really don't get it.
I think I get it. I remember during one of the Dream Leagues, Miposhka, he was talking about not having the RNG effect. When he's playing Enchantress, no Enchanted Quiver, no Grow Bow. So right now, Tianming is holding on to the healing one, Steeds of Serenity. Still needs to find the tier 2 item. It makes a lot of difference. There's Grow Bow for Wind Ranger, of course.
We're on Grow Bow watch. That's the state of affairs now.
I still can't believe this item's not nerfed at all. It's way too good.
That is very accurate. And there's a few neutrals I'm a little surprised are still in the game, but at least they nerfed the...
Vampire Fangs, 2 OP.
No.
Just kidding.
I like that one. It's cool. As we have a smoke now from Azure. I was thinking more of the smoke tier 4, but they definitely nerfed that one.
Oh yeah, because you can't use other items.
Yeah, backpacking it now disables it, which I think is the main thing that was needed. Faith_bian looking for someone to initiate on. And in terms of like the Roche potential, oh, we have to hold that thought. Xnova actually puts the tombstone on the cliff. He's likely going to die shortly after. There's a primal split is expended. Nice shackle onto FY. The spirit vessel was applied to him, by the way. Nothing to say. Taking some impetus damage, pretty major. We'll dodge a couple thanks to the wind run. Plasmic will come out from Ori. Nothing to say. Will eventually be brought down. No, the right click actually misses, and there's a Cronus for Monet, but he takes heavy damage from the outskirts, but they do find the kill onto the Razor. Time walks back to base, is A-okay. Baboka playing Clink, so he does die. That's what happens when you play that hero. It's a 2 for 3, so not bad for G2 considering how this game has gone.
That was pretty much a full duration tombstone on the high ground, which did allow them, like, to give them vision. But still losing a fight. They managed to kill Ori. FY got only one spell, got that toss. And Ori was a little bit low on mana, had Arcane Rune available, but still the Chronosphere. The good thing is Low didn't die. It's very difficult for them to kill Brewmaster. They don't have any silences. If he's in this like status resistant stance, you're not gonna bring him down from 100 to 0 anyway. And we can see this useless Clinks one more time dying.
Well, we won't be subject to that again because there's action already. Monet super low in his own jungle. FY getting gone on by Baboka. Will Clinks actually do something? The Spirit Vessel's there. This should be enough. Indeed it is. Baboka gets the kill and will try to run away from the Ench as Faith_bian's coming in with a little slow action. Thunderclap to come. There's the dust.
He's fine.
It'll be the death of the worst model in, well, the worst stats model in the game. The fact that you need a spell to be able to give you regular stats is probably a bad sign for the hero itself.
He's relatively tanky. You pop a magic wand, which he doesn't have, or you get those 2 charges off your Death Pact. Makes you super tanky.
But you have to get them off.
Yeah, he didn't have any available.
To be able to play the hero, you have to use your abilities. Who would have thought?
Is under attack.
Nothing to say. Has Maelstrom, Force Staff. Will be going for the full Hurricane Pike here. Still 5k lead for Azure, so able to maintain their lead as Low has the Diffusal, Mage Slayer, and Ags will be in fact only 500 away from finishing it. He's mega farmed right now. But have to admit, Monet is actually doing a pretty good job at keeping pace here. He's got the Mjolnir and just about to finish the BKB.
I think G2IG managed to stabilize the game. In the last few minutes, they are keeping this 5k gold lead steady on the side of Azure. New items are coming out, a lot of value from the Force Staff against Razor, against Slark, so you got like double the value against both cores. And also Monet, he's farming up. Once he picks up that BKB, there are no abilities that he's going to be afraid of. Back to you, Suns fan.
Yep, just watching, just chilling.
Do you ever watch the game when you're working and you're like, oh, I have to talk about the game. I'm enjoying myself too much.
Oh, it's you know, sometimes when you're having a conversation with somebody, which is what these casts are, essentially, there's some lulls here and there. Have you ever seen a Counter-Strike cast? Sometimes there's a full 30 seconds they don't talk. I'm like, is my sound
fired these guys?
I can cast Counter-Strike now. Perfect. But in terms of
Counter-Strike's pretty easy. Like, you can rush A, you can rush B, right?
I've heard this joke before.
You gave him a headshot, like what body shot? It's like, what's going on?
You're talking to the wrong guy when it comes to Counter-Strike. I will defend it to my dying days as Xnova gets grab ally. Can't wait for that to come to fruition. But do you think Azure in a
behind the
position?
crate. It's gonna be clutch 1v2. Gets the body shot. Now
there's a lot of strategy in Counter-Strike. I mean, it's not compared to Dota, of course. Dota's very.
I'm just kidding. It's a tough game.
Yeah, you gotta click fast. You can be an old man and play this game. You see many captains get away with that. Position 5 for years.
Not so much in CS, huh?
Well, occasionally in CS, I guess. As G2 are going to be able to smoke up now. And they don't really want to get the Ench. That is definitely not the main target of choice. If they had the opportunity to find somebody else, they would love it. But the only one in sight is Ori. They're going to have to hightail directly at him, but he is farming in the bottom section of the map. They're going to spot him now, I believe. And JT has his blink. Question is, do they have the damage to follow this up with absolutely. Spirit Vestal applied as well. Ori is dead. Great kill for G2.
They know he's dead immediately after he gets stunned by Dragon Knight. There's going to be the damage, no response whatsoever from other members of Azure Ray. Straight into Roach Pit. I like this.
Yeah.
G2IG. Coached and managed by Jack Chen.
Maybe not the coach part. I think he's not even the manager. He's the general manager. It's
That's even a better position.
Yeah, it's a higher up, and they don't do anything, of course. It's just it's a nice title.
Yeah, we see some of these like best players in the world becoming general managers,
yeah,
like Zai, KBBQ.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. Think of legendary
Venomancer in the triangle. He's the type of a guy who would play, what's it called, the Necro in triangle with Aura and Quelling Blade back in the days when
he would just chill back there.
Yeah.
Okay. I can respect that. Kind of. I mean, that's probably where he got most of his naps in, honestly. So.
Anything that can be in triangle and not
has he ever been diagnosed with narcolepsy?
Not sure officially, but if I had to give him a diagnosis, that would definitely be it.
Dr. Lacoste.
Dr. Lacoste, yeah, Dr. Phil, and all these other
definitely real
online doctors.
Nothing to say. Pounced on. Well, they had the enchant, but not able to get it off in time to dispel that.
Is Witch Doctor a real doctor? Would you go? Let's say you have a sore throat.
Depends on the country you're in.
Okay.
Probably. I think in his country, whatever that is, yes. Also depends on the age. The time, that is.
Back to game. BKB being delivered to Ori. Slark also building one. Low far away from it, but this is going to be another way of dispelling things and just more survivability for Ori in team fights.
Monet, pounced on, can't you? Oh, he's actually drained all his mana. Oh, the grab ally! But remember, this is just the Aegis. They still need to get the right click. They will get him with the Dark Pact, and the Primal Split goes off. Connection on the Baboka. He's donezo. Now Monet, time walking away, trying to escape this, but now he gets the Chronosphere off with the BKB. Focus is on Ori, and they will get him indeed. Now the question is, can they get away with their lives?
Oh, he got dispelled.
Nothing to say. Yep, the win run. Focus Fire still active, but one more right click will do it if it connects, and it will. Down goes the Windrunner. And Low and company find a JT just hanging out. Pounce will not hit, but this will eventually be a kill onto the DK, so it ends up being a 3-for-1. And again, Azure Ray coming out on top.
It was a clutch save from Grab Ally or Bunker, but he had no mana to use the Time Walk. They also managed to kill it, so this first Aegis usage was not there. Ori doesn't pop a BKB. We talked about protection. I think if he gets the BKB off, he definitely lives there, reducing the damage. But yeah, still a big fight again for Azure Ray, taking off the Aegis, off Faithless Void, and still managing to kill a tier 2 tower bottom.
Yeah, actually piggybacking off of that a bit with the BKB. What did you think of the buff to that?
10%?
Yeah. Zax Nova going to be spotted, but should be able to TP out. I was surprised it got buffed. I thought it was in a good place.
Yeah, have to agree. But 10%, you know, maybe we want to have some earlier timings where you buy an earlier BKB and you try to go for a push, because that's something that has been discussed lately a lot. These games, how they've been longer, and I think the C patch is going to be even longer games.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Everything. So.
Double pounce. Second one doesn't hit. Nothing to say. Grab Ally, keeping him alive for the time being, and that's going to dissuade G2, or sorry, Azure Ray from going any further. They will back away. Man, I feel like Grab Ally is not used by anybody. This is the first time we've gotten to say it in quite some time.
Yeah, I know you being the biggest fan. Why do you think that is? Because of the stun interaction?
No, it's literally because the name was so fucking stupid. Like, when I read that in the original patch, I was like, this must be a typo, surely.
Yeah, he grabbed him too hard and got him stunned.
Yeah, that's the downside now. I'm glad that has a double-edged aspect to it. As Ori and company now surrounding the tier 2 will be a freebie for them. Extending their lead now to 7K.
Low has a gem. Tianming did buy it. A lot of these Chinese teams, they tend to pick up earlier gem when they feel they're in the lead, especially when you have a hero like Slark in the team, who can easily devord. You're getting the gold All it takes is 4 or 5 wards, depending on the stage of the game, and you get the value back.
And the shard is there too for Low, so we'll have a save at his disposal. One of the strongest shards in the game for sure, as he's going to finish the disperser. So that one was nerfed, no longer an AoE, but it will cast on yourself regardless. So I think that works when you use it on an enemy as well. Is that correct? So that's
if you use it on enemy, you still get the buff. So your chase potential is better, but no AoE. So I think heroes like Meepo, which was one of his core items, except for Aghanim Scepter, got heavily nerfed.
Oh, pounce initiation. Avalanche is there as well, but the
the
grab ally again. Always in the right place at the right time for X-Nova. Monet, time walks away. But the Windrunners, who they're going to focus all their efforts on now, is he's put into the air by Faith Beyond. Nothing to say. Looks like he is done for this fight at the very least. Nice shackle, but they're not going to follow it up with anything because it is now a 4v5. Chrono's still there for Monet. But yeah, without the Windrunner, not sure you can go.
A little surprised that he's not going for BKB. I said I wanted to see earlier BKB on Nothing to Say, because you're playing into Enchant Dispel, Brewmaster Dispel, and we've seen him suffering multiple times. X-Nova lagged there for a second, but let's see if he's going to pay with his life because of it.
Oh, that courier.
Nice bait.
Yeah, X-Nova, if you can live, he can grab ally himself in 10 seconds, but he will TP out instead, and it's
So what is that ability called? Grab yourself?
That's right. I do that all the time. Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. Meanwhile, other side. Stop looking at me, Lacoste.
Looking at the screen right now, Baboka will die one more. How many times did he die this game? 9. Massive impact. Going for Aghanim Scepter. Baboka is a type of a player that will find the most greedy item build possible with least impact and go for it.
You don't like it?
No, it's good. It's good. It's like, it looks nice. Same goes for Enchantress, but I don't feel the impact of this. It's going to be a lot of Skelly Bros running around. Slark with the attack speed. He can easily kill it. Oh no, JT.
That's a lot of stacks
for Low. A solo kill.
Absolutely.
If Ori didn't help.
Would have been a solo kill regardless for sure. As Roshan not up for another, well, we won't know for another minute 15, but yeah, I don't know. This just slowly continuing to go in the favor of Azure Ray. And now Manta there for Faith Beyond, so can just push out waves with that Radiance. Surprised they don't have, I guess the gem on Slark makes sense. I was thinking that typically Brewmaster has that in fights, but they're not really scared of the Slark dying. He is very tanky with that Mage Slayer.
He might need to swap it out soon, running out of slots, but he's also building into all these expensive items, Aghanim Scepter, Disperser. Sitting at 30 Essence Shifts stolen at the moment on Slark, 10 permanent agility. He's ready to take a fight, having no mana. He just brought like 4 mangoes, clarity as well.
There's a Scotty from Monet. Definitely an earlier Scotty. I feel like that has not been the most popular item in general in this patch.
Seems like they're itemizing against healing.
Yeah, but there's not that much
Scotty, but there's not much healing going on. It's good against Razor, don't get me wrong. It's good stat item. He was having mana problems, so I guess that's why he's also building it, so he can get his spells off in a fight.
Yeah, where's the Shivas? That's the final piece for the anti-heal.
I don't know how you buy that recipe.
Yeah, it's only 1 million gold. Is nothing to say. Gets the connection onto the Ench. Spirit Vessel applied. Down he goes.
First death of Tian Ming. 6, 1, and 10.
Oh, wow, you're right. And the other supports for G2, not looking so hot in terms of the KDA. As Low working towards a BKB, not really that far away from it either. As Roche number 2 is up, and I think this will be, once they scout it, will be a freebie for Azure Ray. Ooh, that's a pretty big courier kill.
I don't think he has enough money for it.
Yeah,
he still needs
kill.
like 1,300
that paper
gold.
is really important.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's the BKB finally you've been asking for on Nothing to Say. See how that works out for them. But they're at such a great deficit now, it's going to be tough to find these fights that will benefit them.
So he can lock onto a target. I think the target that he needs to go for, maybe if they land the Chrono and Brewmaster, they could get a kill, or if they get a Dragon Tail stun, Loki's in.
Starting things out.
It's a lot of
Monet.
stacks.
Get some stats for the road. They haven't scouted out Roche. I mean, do you think there's any teams that just don't want the Radiant second Roche and just are waiting for Dire, even though they're on the Radiant side? Because they do have map control in general.
Wait, what are you saying? The
They
banner
like the
is
cheese.
not OP?
Yeah, they like the cheese.
Banner is one of the best additions to the game. Because we added that
like
to
it.
end the game faster, and the game's prolonged for extra like 5 minutes.
That's right. That's actually kind of true. Not directly related, of course, but just needs a little extra buff here and there, you know? Smokes from both sides. The Roche off, which I was not expecting, because I think Azure could have taken Roche if they had scouted it out a little earlier. But they might collide here, but JT has to go into the mid lane to defend. And with that, maybe that opens up the Roche potential for Azure.
They have a lot of gold on their side. That Paper that was killed by Tian Ming, 2k gold in the bank. And also Brewmaster sitting on 2.5, Razor 4.5 gold. So in terms of gold that they have, that's basically the advantage. So they need to turn the gold into items.
Oh, is that what needs to be done?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about the banner for the next 10 minutes.
I'm down.
Will he use it?
He will use it during the push.
Okay.
Because
do you like using it when you don't have megas or supers, I should say?
You could use it, but you could also save it 50-50. I just feel this item is relatively useless.
Useless?
I don't find it good.
Have you seen the Gaben creeps, though?
These are nice, yeah. Super mega creeps.
I think it is useful once you have a barracks already, right? And then you're pushing the opposite side, and you put it on the super creep side, right?
Super creep side?
In that case, it's useful. Actually, yesterday we saw the vice versa, where a team was down racks and they used it on their barracks, and it actually equalized the super creep.
You can use it as vision in a fight. Put it on a cliff.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Very different.
I learned that from SVG. Low, getting stunned.
They're too scared to go on him, and I don't blame them. Aegis obviously there. They have to rip through him twice, and now he has the BKB, which was not shown, so this will be a bit of a surprise factor.
AD spawn bottom.
Oh,
Nothing
Wind Waker.
To say, denied it.
Wow. Wind Waker on FY, that's a really early purchase. And there's the sheep stick.
Yeah, he wants to wake up Nothing to Say, who's playing Wind, because he needs to deal some damage. Wind Waker has been an item of a choice. I've seen it quite a lot on some like offlane Mars as well.
Oh boy, JT thrown into the fray. He's going to get pounced on, and now Low can get all his stacks ready for this next fight. JT is dead. And this is such a huge power spike for Azure. They have the Aegis, they pick up the Butterfly.
Oh, we're using the fancy words now. Power spike, that's my favorite one.
Do you like power spike?
Power spike, yeah.
It'd be a good name for a video game as well. There is the Wind Waker. FY trying to get away, but the shard from Nothing to Say comes out. Focus fire onto him as well. Tombstone is placed. Was that a grab ally? Indeed it was from Monet. He jumps in.
Thinking about
but
Chrono.
Jumps back out. Forces Low to use one of his pounces. Fortifications popped as the Primal Split continuing to beat upon the tower. That Earth Panda can really pack a punch on these things. Monet again backtracking. Low, okay, he gets the inhibit. Costs 25 mana now. Very important to discuss that during this very important team fight. Monet time walks. Okay, they have the silence applied to Low, but he's going to force to use his BKB. I think that was the Wind Waker used on him as well. And Bach and company will have to back away with just the range racks in their name.
Yeah, I have to correct you there. It's Suppress, and it's 75 mana. That's more costly. But Inhibit is 25.
So, wait, it costs how much?
75?
Oh, wow. Wow. Why would they change? What's the point?
Because it's better. Like, you also get the move speed.
I feel like they should have kept the Inhibit and then add a name after it. You know,
Inhibit
2.0. Suppress. Come on. I'm not going to say that. Okay, maybe I will. That's actually a cool word.
It is.
The tier 4 item's starting to come now.
Mindbreaker for Faceless Void, so that's going to be a little bit of a silence action. Great against Slark. If you manage to, like, surprise hit him and then land the Chrono afterwards.
Yeah,
still minute and 40, holding that Aegis, so going to be much more difficult. And
if he can somehow get Ags, I mean, he's not going to prioritize it anytime soon, but that very good synergy. You get the third Roche. Get the Ags off of that. You bash him, get silence. Very strong.
Tian Ming is going to pack a punch. He has Enchantress Quiver. And he also has Hex, level 18, getting closer to level 20, which does absolutely nothing in terms of damage that he deals.
Oh, the Ancient Guardian for the support Clinks.
Huge
Very
impact.
cool. 100 damage he will have because he will be defending by his Ancient for the rest of the game. FY, Avalanche is there, nothing to say with the counter initiation, but the Wind Waker not able to get to the low ground. FY in a lot of trouble, and he will be brought down quite easily, in fact. No buyback whatsoever, but it is a 4v5 with the Aegis still there for Azure Ray, but they will back away playing Disciplined Dota. FY not too happy. Although JT not playing Disciplined Dota, he's the one that gets caught off guard instead. Gonna be forced step, trying to get to the high ground with that Black Dragon, but the impetus is too much. Monet missing the chrono onto Ori. Doesn't have the opportunity to kill or to kill Lu instead, so now we'll back away, completely wasting the Chronosphere. And now the Primal Split will be used to take out the buildings.
And that just might be it.
It might be.
You misused the Chrono. Even if he lands Chrono on Ori, I don't think they get the kill there. Rest of the team not ready to back him up. And also, he does have buyback available, so it wouldn't matter that much.
I feel like every fight has started with JT dying. That has been very unfortunate.
Or Clanks not having an impact.
I mean, that's the whole game, though. So
buyback from Xnova. They're going to be playing against Megas. All these illusions, AC, on Bach.
Yeah, low with so many stacks. Monet time walking in. Tombstone is placed from Xnova. Try to force them back a bit, but Low wants to go in, pops the BKB, forcing the issue, but there's the grab ally again. I think he used it on himself, but he doesn't come out in time. It stuns him. The grab ally now being used against you as G2 are crumbling. Plasma Field will not finish off Nothing to Say, but like you said, the Mega Creeps will be there. Was the banner used? Are these Gaben Creeps? It matters not.
Don't see it in the inventory, but yeah, pretty one-sided game in this first one. Azure Ray, I'd say that this has been...
Of us all, legend in the Dota scene. Sunspan here with Lacoste. Some interesting picks here, man. We get to see Core Wyvern. It's been a while for me. Happy to see Faith Beyond on that. What do you think of this?
They kept the flex until the last one. Yep. Potentially, Leshrac could have came out. But now after seeing the Morphling, they're like, okay, we want to have something with the potentially higher range. There's been a lot of Leshrac picks so far in the tournament, and I've seen a lot of flexes. This hero as a position 5, it does feel good. You're playing off your stun, you're playing off your edict. Maybe you want to put 1 point in Lightning Storm just for a little bit of extra slow. It's a setup for your stun. In this lane, against Mars, I'd say it's not going to be as great. Same goes for Mirana, so he might need to pick up something differently, switch back from Diabolic Edict, because you don't get the full value. Mars will either bonk you, spear you away, Mirana can easily leap away, so the damage is not going to be there. Overall, I do like G2 x IG's draft more in this second game, because they probably had a talk with their coach, had a talk with their general manager, Korean Barbecue, about what needs to be done. Not sure what Jack said, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably not very useful information from him, but maybe they were able to dissect whatever he said and made it useful in some capacity. As Ori's going to be fighting off against Nothing to Say in the mid lane, Pango versus the old Ember Spirit. Haven't seen Pango in a while because I feel like I've been casting Game and Gladiators every game, and it is banned just for Quinn. But nobody else really seems to be favoring this hero as much as Gaiman.
Yeah, I think I remember the stats from Bedboom Dacha. He was playing 5 games, when that is, on Pango, and all 5 wins, so we're definitely not going to see that. Another hero that has been OP for like good 2 years now, I would even say. Remember back in the days that this hero had pretty much everything. Silence, Disarm, minus armor on one of his spells.
Wait,
good
silence?
times. Yeah, he had silence.
Lucky Shot used to
Lucky Shot used to silence. Oh. Free Mindbreaker.
Yeah, it was kind of like a roulette wheel where you just pick a different mechanic and you try it out on Lucky Shot and see what sticks, and now it seems to be in a good spot, I would feel, as Xnova gets dropped by Bach. So Faith Beyond with the first blood on the position 3 Winter Wyvern. Now, let's talk about Wyvern as that 3 a little bit more. What kind of itemization should we be looking forward to? Like, when this was more of a prime pick as a core, I would see Ags, but I think that was nerfed. a long time ago.
It's still very good. I think your core item is going to be some stats for the start because you are universal heroes. You want to come online as fast as possible, and then pick up Mage Slayer.
Oh, of course.
It's very easy to apply Mage Slayer as Vibrant, having that extra range, hitting people once in each fight. Easy peasy, plus maybe a Witchblade, Aghanim Scepter. I think it could be a good Witchblade game. You're playing against Morphling, so you want to have that extra damage. And he does have First Blood. And one more time, FY will be playing Tiny. This is a very strong lane. Every single time you have your combo available. I want to see if FY maybe gets a toss. He maybe is thinking about it. If he can get a hands on X-Nova. Because these two heroes, they don't care too much about Undying. Undying's not going to get too close. He's going to get harassed, and Monet will try to get some Monet for himself, pulling the small camp.
Nice one.
A good one. So creative.
Have you used that one before? I'm sure as FY. Avalanche on both heroes, in fact. X-Nova continue to take harassment from Faith Beyond. FY will walk away. The supports will kind of heal up a bit.
What do you think M88 in Monet's name stands for? Oh, it's the sponsor. Never mind. X-Nova also has it.
That's right. Very good. Quick to decipher that one.
Very good at
the
these
hot dog
things.
is my favorite sponsor, though. I forget who does that. Is that LGD?
LGDs.
And it's not actually a hot dog. That's the best part.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a gambling thing, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
They like to gamble with hot dogs over there, I suppose. Understandable. They are quite delicious. If you can find more than one. And okay, let's get back to the game.
Back to the game. Mid lane. I know that this is slight in favor of Ember Spirit, but so far he's doing much better than I expected. 24-5 against 15-0. Ori suffering a little bit, but as Pango, you do manage to catch up.
And JT on the Mars looking for a bit of a comeback in this game, as it were,
nice
because
play.
his performance in game one was left a lot to be desired for sure.
Good play from Tianming, faking like he's gonna use his spell. JT immediately spears him away.
Support Lesh. Why is Support Lesh all of a sudden thing? I feel like this hero's only received nerfs. Like when Bloodstone came out, they nerfed the AoE of Split Earth. Like, what has changed with this hero?
Bloodstone got buffed. You have mana regen now, so that's good.
Yeah,
Diabolic
but this is a support.
Edict.
You're not getting that.
Damage per explosion has been increased, so that's great. Great against towers, of course, and also activation mana cost has been decreased on Pulse Noah. Pretty big. Level 120 less mana.
Very nice. Nice quality of life for the old Disco Pony. Be able to pick up a bounty rune here.
A tithe to the impurities.
And for this mid lane, it's been a while since we've seen Pango. As weird as that is to say.
It's been a while since you saw anything. Like, you just came from an event. It was a long 2-week event. You're like, yeah, I haven't seen
Pango was
Vibrant on
picked
the offline.
every game, and then halfway through the tournament, we didn't see it again. You know? But yeah, what do you think of Pango versus Ember? Because typically, Ember is going to be A-okay against these melee heroes, but Pango's a little bit of a different beast.
Yeah, has an upper hand, definitely in this matchup. He can stop you from using your abilities with 1 point in Searing Chain, so you want to put that one. Aggression.
Yes, wow.
X-Nova, FY again, deeping in.
Toss just in time as the leap was coming through. It's going to be a support for support trade at the current point in time. Trying to focus on this Undying Tombstone. They'll get it.
Nice
Blue gets the money.
Double hit in the end, FY. Very quick with the rotations. You're like, oh, we killed Lash, but this is a position 5 Lash, so they don't care too much about it, especially if he's low mana, so you can TP mid, refill Ori's bottle. Boboka will do the same thing.
Wow, what a play.
Love
what a
that.
mechanic.
Absolutely loving this one.
Terrific.
Very interactive gameplay.
It's JT getting harassed now by the Christmas tree and Lou. Be forced into an awkward spot if they want to continue to chase.
He might be going for Roche.
He
might go for Roche. Yep. Check if he's home. He's not.
Not yet.
It's a long chase, though.
Yep, they'll eventually get it, but the creeps will actually cost them. The Avalanche Rebuke is going to slow down.
Just feel it at this point. Here we go. Take it.
That's why finally, as Ori will use the Rolling Thunder to be able to secure the Arcane Rune. Probably won't pop that until his ult is back up again. In terms of the Mirana gameplay here,
absolutely beautiful.
We have Searing Chains and the Arena and Spear.
Yeah, we also have level 3 Mirana, who doesn't have a point in arrow at the moment, so we'll get that at level 4, so you can have something to play off your Searing Chains. There it is. I don't like Mirana as position 4. I gotta be honest.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because she does the same thing from position 5. It's just you can't really scale as Mirana 4. That's my problem. I've seen a lot of snaking Mirana position 5. They've been picking it a lot. I think a lot of teams will start to copy them because Falcons did do well. So
you prefer it as 5?
I prefer it as 5 because it does pretty much the same job. I think we've seen that throughout Dota history.
And Faith Beyond, Searing Chains will connect from Nothing to Say. Will Cold Embrace himself, but...
As a Lotus as well.
Okay, we'll see if he can survive. I highly doubt it.
Oh, no.
He's dead. Nothing to Say, able to Remnant back. And we're getting some nice farm now. That's actually true, though. I feel like 4 and 5 are kind of interchangeable for the... But I feel like if there's a position 5 that can scale a little bit better, maybe they just swap at some point.
Because we had this with, let's say...
Undying's not really that.
Batrider, Clockwork.
Yeah.
So you want to play those as position 5 pretty much. Because you're going to do the same thing anyway, just slightly less efficient. And Ming making a rotation through the gates. Boboka mimicking that.
And Monet
good pressure.
Pretty damage. Tombstone is getting pretty low as here comes Nothing to Say again. Faith Beyond. Oh, he's going to get some help from Ori. Gets a nice swashbuckle onto Monet. As the Lesh looking for an opening to get a stun, but is slowed to a crawl. Looks like that Lesh is just donezo. Ori will get the Rolling Thunder off. Boboka will get hit once, but I think, yeah, they're going to try to take out the Undying instead. A little bit easier of a kill at this stage of the game. And the Avalanche should secure things.
You see Leshrac going in, you're like, oh, we need to fall back, but that's level 3.
Oh, another Cold Embrace. Nothing to Say.
Saved it from the arrow,
out of
actually.
mana now. Has to be careful. Swashbuckle's there. Shield crash as well. One more right click. Double kill for Ori. Pretty big mistake for Nothing to Say. They do get FY in the because of Boboka. Actually, might
another
deny
leap
himself to the Ancient.
Gonna deny himself.
But still, all of that effort to try to kill a support Tiny, costing the Ember his life.
Ori got back into the game with those 2 kills. There was a big CS discrepancy in the mid lane, but now you can see that he's doing much better in terms of net worth. And this also relieves some pressure from Low in this bottom lane, who's going to be level 6, has Mask, so that's going to be some extra regen in the lane, has a healing salve of his own. If he is full HP, he's definitely not going to die. And I like that these carry players are also picking up Trusty Shovel as their neutral item, because it does amplify your farm. You don't need to go back. There's the combo, a failed one.
And not much of a combo there, that's for sure. Ori gets off his Rolling Thunder, trying to keep them at bay here. Lou was actually almost going off with the Chronosphere.
They really want FY.
Down. Yeah, they really hate Tony. And Chronosphere is placed on JT, and Lou's just going to run away. So now big ult for Lowe's down.
And the reverse Giga Chad move coming out from G2XIG. Not landing the combo there, but still getting one of the kills. I think Azure Ray are pretty fine with that. They're losing support here and there, but they're getting a lot from the map at the moment.
Overall, still a lot closer than it was last game. Even though it's only 10 minutes in the game, it feels like Azure Ray had a 3K lead or so at this point. So G2 definitely off to a better start. And especially JT, who second net worth on his team right now on that Mars. See how fast he wants to try to get a Blink Dagger this time around, if he's going to be greedy and go for
Midas. No, not this time. I think Mars nowadays, there was a big difference in itemization a month, 2 months ago, where people were picking up Vlads, going for Mage Slayers, sometimes both of them, and then getting a Blink Dagger. But then a Mars says, you know what, screw those builds, I'm gonna go double Bracer, pick up a Yule Scepter maybe if necessary, then go for a Blink Dagger, upgrade it to Wind Waker, or whatever it's necessary, Octarine Shard. But I do feel like you need to have that Blink Dagger because of the recent changes to Mars, where you can easily arena into a spear combo. Before it was much more difficult. Now it's very easy.
Yeah.
Tianming.
Nice split earth. Monet wants to try to finish it off, as the arrow will not hit for Boboka. He'll have to retreat in shame.
Shame.
Quite shameful indeed. Haven't really seen the arrow really have much impact on this game.
Need to land those.
Yeah, Yeah.
Moonlight Shadow, I mean, they saw this. Nothing to say. He's farming in the mid lane, so they know something's cooking.
Looking for his first arena of the game. Ori will sense things and exit the premises. But the tier 1 tower looks to be the focus for, nothing to say. JT trying to backstab FY. Man, they love him. They absolutely love him. Ori gets off the Rolling Thunder. FY taking the brunt of the damage. Will die first. Nice curse coming out from Faith Beyond. Gonna let them reset a bit. But yeah, nothing to say with one more burst of damage to take out the Lesh. So 2 supports dead for Azure Ray as G2 continuing the pressure now. Spirit not gonna fully connect, but Ori is likely done. One more Sleight of Fist will do the job. Double kill for nothing to say. That certainly will help his game, as that last death, I think, set him back just a little bit, but now top net worth.
Absolutely. Some good moves from G2 XIG. They are making 5-man rotations, last 2 team fights pretty much. Monet was also very close to a fight. I'm not sure if he dealt any damage. He didn't, but he was close. One waveform he could have easily joined. Low, we still haven't, like, Low is the type of a player, if he has a bit of a slower start, he's not going to be as active. There was one game during Bad Boom Dacha when he was playing Slark, ended the game with 0-5-0. Literally did not play the game.
Good. I'm guessing
good
he lost,
for him,
right?
yeah.
I would hope he lost that game. Winning a game when you're carrying 0-5. It's probably happened at some point, especially for Korean Barbecue, legendary figure of the Dota 2 community. Ori getting initiated on, but will be able to swash away. I'm sure Korean Barbecue has slept through many wins, in fact, not just losses.
Absolutely. Even slept on panel. I was on that panel as well. I experienced it. It was China Super Major, I believe. Oh, I couldn't believe my eyes. I heard the stories before, but never seen it. I'm like, is this real? And it was. We had to wake him up.
Okay, that's just too much. Faith Beyond, he has his Orchid, will use it, but the arrow connects via the Searing Chains, and down he goes. Oh, Chronosphere, Lou, he's not going to have the damage to get this kill, but you can see the Lesh on his way over. But the arena is going to kind of break them up a bit as Ori is coming in.
Inhibit.
And that's going to be 4 members to be able to take out JT. The Wisdom Rune was taken by Baboka, by the way. So G2 might be able to secure both Wisdom Runes. In all likelihood, will be able to.
Baboka has one job pretty much in this game. Click follow on your Ember Spirit and find the angle. Use an arrow on this Searing Chain combo. Now it's going to be much more easier. Nothing to say. He's really feeling himself in this game.
3K lead. Getting a bit scary for Azure Ray. Feels like I've seen a lot of these games. It's a nice stack being taken out by the support Lesh. Classic. Okay. And that's one benefit of having this hero, I suppose. You just run into a stack. Oh, I can actually take it.
I can take it. Even if they kill me, that's pretty much fine. So Tiny has a Blink Dagger coming. He got killed multiple times, so this time around, completely different item build. Not upgrading his boots, just a casual Windlace for now. Smoke also available. It's time to hunt. Try to hunt them down, get another kill, reset until your Chrono's back online. But it does look very good for G2 IG. Oh, what a hero, huh?
Yeah, that's a great interaction. Oh, he gets off the attribute shift in time, still silenced up, will waveform away, but actually turns into the Pango as well, TPing out in the midst of things. FY. Oh, they get off the curse, so that's going to cancel the TP.
Go back. There we go.
Monet blood grenaded. One more swash and shield crash for the road. Meanwhile, Lesh finally punished on the opposite side of the map, but still not a fair trade at all if you're G2 IG. They lose their Morphling.
They already revealed their Orchid when they killed Wyvern, so maybe Monet needed to farm slightly less aggressive. Once you pick up that Manta style, the panel did talk about some good heroes he can target with Morph in this game, mostly Pango. You can also turn into Faceless Void, low cooldown abilities, so anything's gonna be good, but we've seen the power of the Fusel Blade so many times where you're like, okay, I'm gonna use a couple of spells, and then you get stunned. You get another swashbuckle in your face, Orchid again.
Yep, that should be a dead Mirana. Indeed. Faith Beyond takes that for himself and starting to cut into this lead that G2 did such a good job with early on.
we're gonna see now FY playing with Bach together. Just go for that combo.
Yeah, very classic here.
Very cool. That tree is gonna get removed in the D-pad for sure.
They've been
Or they're gonna do
right.
something to Lesh.
Yeah, another nerf for the old Lesh, the goat, literal, of course. Almost has a mech finished actually, so farming really well. There's nothing to say. Not able to find anybody on this connection, but the lead is essentially gone for G2 IG, but this would help out. Arena is going to be disrupted a bit thanks to the Orchid being placed as Ori coming in as well. Faith Beyond able to cold embrace himself. JT, he's the one taking the brunt of the damage now. Swashbuckle not quite enough as he gets off the spear. Faith Beyond dies and Ori won't finish the job on the Mars. And now he might be the one in peril. Searing chains into arrow connection again. 2 big kills for G2.
If Azure Ray has another member of the team, let's say Tiny's there, they definitely get a kill on Mars. Maybe they get even one more kill, and none of them die. But so far, G2 IG, they've been bringing extra numbers since the start. Monet getting close to that Manta style, so that's going to be a big item, removing the time dilation, removing the slow from Inhibit, and also the big one, Orchid. That's the massive.
No ban for Lu. Maelstrom, just casual Orbit Master now. I mean, the thing about Faceless Void that I felt like going into that thought, speaking of Faceless Void, Lu might be in some trouble. Searing Chains, Arrow, again, he gets off the Chronosphere to buy himself some time. Will it be enough? Split Earth is there to help out as well. He's able to time walk away. Does cost him a Chrono. Let's see if G2 can get out, but there's the Orchid being applied again to the Ember Spirit. Nothing to say, he's in quite a bit of trouble. Will be traded in all likelihood with this Lesh, but Faith Beyond doing massive damage with that Arctic Burn. They get the toss back, but Boca is dead. So 2 for 1 as X-Nova somehow able to TP out, surprisingly enough.
They have no stuns available unless Low gets the bash, but this is a nice move. Like, this could easily go wrong if Low gets another spell potentially. He dies, just use the Chronosphere. They can't take that fight, but nicely used Chrono, buys him enough time to get the time walk off, and then Bach. This Orchid pickup has been massive.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the itemization. He was really having a great time on Ember. Now picked up the Yule Scepter to have some kind of a dispel mechanic, so that's good. But yeah, it could also be potential setup for a Splitter, the Rolling Thunder, Chrono, anything from Tiny.
Swash will not really hit here. Ori's going to be forced to use his ult to try to get this Undying. As the Orchid already used on Nothing to Say. Bach, ooh, just dodges the arrow. And Ori will have to try to exit now. Spirit Vessel applied. Able to swash to the high ground, but here comes the Avatos onto 2 members of G2. Nice cold embrace onto Ori.
They're
nice split Earth to be able to take out Nothing to Say. It'll cost them FY, but I think they'll take that trade any day.
And I like that Ori picked up Shard of his own, because he's playing into Ember Spirit, immediately uses that roll-up, gets out of the trouble, Rolling Thunder afterwards. So most of the time you'll see him use Rolling Thunder like defensively to try to get out of trouble, and then maybe for G2 IG.
And we're at 20 minutes, so getting to the point where maybe the first Roche will be attempted in the next couple.
Yeah, I think they might go right now, because they have enough damage. Chronosphere is still on cooldown for another 30 seconds. With Morphling, you do have enough. Radiant, they're thinking the same. Using the scan. Don't walk in.
They do.
Just
It's
walk
red.
in.
Red alert. Probably will not matter, though.
Yeah.
They're just going to farm out the lane, so first Aegis should go to G2. Likely Monet will be the recipient, unless they want to put it on.
TN maybe, does he want to kill the courier? He does. It's a full BKB. That's not going to be there for 2 minutes, and he waits until the enemy executor. He just farmed it there. Like, he's not going to go for it. He's too afraid.
Understandable. They will secure the Aegis. Ori was forced to run for the Aegis until the lane. So G2 Aegis, not much time left, less than 30 seconds to go.
They could potentially time it, yep.
Have they gotten good advantage out of this?
They got some, but I still feel that Azure Ray will take a fight when the Aegis expires. They do have Low bringing one big item that's going to be full Mjolnir. They have Mech, they have Tiny with another save, and he does have buyback available, so he can potentially come back to a fight twice if necessary. For now, it's going to be G2IG using the smoke, but I want to see them mimic the movement and go for the same thing. First, they're going to take the Tormy.
Who will be bestowed the shot upon? It is Faith Beyond, so Splinter on Cold Embrace. Not too shabby.
Also, Cold Embrace, a lot of value so far that they got from this spell, considering that they don't have much magic damage.
Yeah, that's true.
He drops that down. Spirit's Vessel, good way to deal with some of that healing. Boboka just loves this item. He's like, okay, Clanks with Spirit's Vessel, sign me up. Anything that can build into Spirit's Vessel, pretty much you can buy it on any hero. It's not going to be great, but...
Yeah, it's actually surprising that Faith Beyond did not go for the Mage Slayer, by the way. You were mentioning that. Maybe the nerfs were too much.
All I can give us.
As the smoke now comes out from Azure Ray, Lesh will pop it. Searing Chains opener. Arrow will not be used on the Lesh because he's just that easy to kill, apparently. Azure Ray will have to.
It's a good excuse when you miss that arrow. It's like, oh, I thought we got this guy.
Yeah, of course.
It was a scouting tool.
Faceless Void, just one of those heroes in this patch that feels like it's a slow start, but then if you're able to get to mid-game, it feels really hard to stop.
Absolutely.
If they have any kind of an advantage.
They have nothing that builds into a silence. There are no Hex fires. Maybe I would love to see JT pick up a Hex instead, just so you can initiate on either Wyvern or Faceless Void.
FY and JT respecting each other, knowing that it's not going to bother trying to go for this. As Bach will get the instant Orca on the Mirana. Has the Aghanim Scepter now, so Arctic Burn can be basically spammed ad nauseum. Toss back FY, or tossed in place, I should say. I'm going to say, do they want to continue here? Yule's going to be able to dodge the arrows. The Rolling Thunder being used by Ori, but will not get the lockdown they need on the Morph. Wisdom Rune is available.
JT in a bad
G2
spot.
will be able to grab that as the Mars Arena comes through for JT with a BKB. He's just...
minor pub games.
Yeah, not in the actual game.
I don't know if you tried Axe with Conda. That's great. You hold on to Fairy's Trinket, you buy Kaya Sanj, you play off your Culling Blade. It's like 1000 HP. You can one-shot people with level 20 talents.
That's good stuff. I think I got scared off because the mechanic didn't work properly at first. But they fixed that, as Valve usually does in this game that is beta. 2K lead for Azure Ray. Still Aegis, though, on Monet. Try to take advantage of that as FY jumps in with the avalanche and will force that back up to the high ground. It's like, I know you're here.
5 heroes, pretty much.
They were smoked. Very interesting.
He knows this stuff.
Another smoke incoming for G2XIG, brought to you by Korean Barbecue, legendary figure of the Dota scene.
Yeah, KBBQ, very good at being a translator, being a pop star, being an analyst, whatever is necessary. Manager.
Yeah, Xnova, he's good at being dead for now. Just like that, it's 5v4. Monet getting stun locked, but JT comes in with the big arena onto 3. Huge rebuke, but the save onto the Lesh for now. FY would be the first to fall, but there's the Chronosphere. JT is dead. Morphling, that's life number 1. Nothing to say. Has to stay alive here. Has a remnant, but it's in slow motion. They get the stun off, but turns into the void for now is Monet. He's going to get solo cursed. Do they have the damage to follow this up? But do they have the stun lock? Indeed. Lou rips him a new one. Nothing to say. Will be able to TP out, but Boca, though, the cancellation thanks to the Yules. And that's 4 dead for G2XIG, brought to you by Korean Barbecue, legendary figure of the caster scene. And they get rid of the Aegis as well.
Yeah, Korean Barbecue, he will need to step in. Like, they're going to need someone to have extra hero in this game, pick up some Venomancer. It's just looking very bad for G2IG at the moment. They can't really take any of the fights they're trying, but every single time they're losing. You can see JT one more time. I think we've seen this fight before where there's no real follow-up. Nobody is inside the arena dealing damage, and then Low manages to get a really big chrono. So pretty difficult fight. Time dilation also destroys, nothing to say. He gets out of that. Already down to half HP, and